Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay, so let's get into it. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie. And what are we on? What are we on? Let's get the screen right. Let's stop sharing that and get this thing correct. Let's do a sound check. Let's get in tune and do a sound check. Okay, let's go. Let's stop this music and start that. Let's go. Sound check. Let's get in tune and do a sound check. Okay, let's go. Let's stop this music. Okay, that sounds very nice indeed. Very well balanced, if I say so myself. Okay, I like it. I like it. Okay, so, and where's... Let me get my scroller. Where's my scroller? Where is my scroller? Let's get this information in. Let's get it in. Edit it in there. Okay. What else have we got? What else have we got? Yep, that'll do nicely. Let's save that and show that. Okay. So you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie 294. And as you can see there, and as you have heard, let's get the visuals right. Where are we? Okay, boom, boom, boom. How's it looking? You see that? How's the visibility on that? You got good visibility on that? Okay. And let's not mess around. Let's go straight for it. Let's get the links in the thing. Remember, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Come on. 3, 2, 1. Show me what I want to see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So what is that? Is that pinned now? What's going on? Is that pinned? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Don't mess around. No messing around. Okay. And let's get straight into it. Welcome, hello, and welcome, one and all. Where we're starting, I think you know where we're starting. We're starting with Joshua Usyk. Joshua sells out in a matter of hours. Joshua Usyk sells out in a matter of hours. And makes one hell of a statement. What the hell is this? 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Oh, there. Okay, ready for another great one. Says Malcolm Marcel. Yeah, let's do this. How are the Fury Wilder tickets selling? Oh Lord. OMG. That was the Philip Khan Roberts. It's the John D. Lee up in the building. And it's the Aaron Daly and the Malcolm Marcel. Okay, not to forget rather, the Bronze Plumber. Okay, so what's going on? Let's get into this thing. Okay, so as you may have heard, as you will have heard, Joshua versus Usyk tickets for the 25th of September, I believe, at Tottenham Hotspur, sold out within a matter of hours. And it's kind of chilling. It just goes to show the appeal, the appeal that Joshua has in the eyes of the public, largely rather, despite what some of the naysayers may choose to say. Let's take these headphones off because they ain't coming through that anyway. So yeah, impressive, very impressive figures. 60,000 tickets sold. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. So where are we? Where are we? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what we got up. Against sold out. Okay, let's go with that one then. Let's go with that one. Let's go with that headline and let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Is it? Yep. Okay. So Anthony Joshua, can you see that? You got good visibility on that. You got good visibility on that. Okay. So Anthony Joshua, what? Hurry. Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk. Tickets sell out in 24 hours with 60,000 fans to descend on Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. OMG. Anthony Joshua's heavyweight world title fight against Alexander Usyk has sold out within the first 12 to 24 hours of going on sale. The 31-year-old defends his WBA, WBO, IBF belts against the unbeaten Ukrainian dancer. He goes by the name of Alexander Usyk at Tottenham Hotspur. What's this here? Hold on, something just distracted me. Let me have a quick look at that. It might be. What's this? Hold on, I have to respond to that immediately. I am aware. We're live. I'm aware. We live. To one of my American brethren in the backstage, I am aware. We live. You want to say something? Jump on. Damn it. John Daly, I see you. Bring you in a second, my dear fellow. Okay. Anthony Joshua looking tanned and main. Okay. What's going on? Okay, so that's a two-weight. What? Usyk is looking to become a two-weight world champion. There is Usyk. What's that? Oh. Have you seen Alexander Usyk's signature? Dang. Unusual character indeed. Okay. So what's Olympic gold medalist Joshua was ordered by the WBO to fight Usyk 34 after his undisputed title decided with Tyson Fury 32 collapsed. And let's not forget, folks, about this malarkey, this mess around. Let's not forget, if it weren't for Tyson Fury, Bob Arum messing around, trying to pretend as if they were down for an undisputed fight, when in truth they knew that they would be fighting Deontay Wilder next. Let's not forget, if it weren't for those two messers, we call them messers over here in the UK, messers, mess around. If it weren't for them two messers, we could have been much further down the line. This fight could have been done already. But they pushed Anthony Joshua back, messed up the schedule, thanks to Bob Arum, Tyson Fury, the two weasels. Okay, so what we're saying here. And despite supporters left disappointed that the matchup, as a matter of fact, let's bring in John Daly at that juncture. John D. Lee, how do you do? Come on through, my friend.
Good evening, Raph.
Good evening, John.
Oh, I'm good, thanks.
Excuse me?
I'm well.
Yeah, good man.
So, where do you want to start with this?
Well, I'll tell you my views first. When I heard the news, when I heard the news, I stopped and thought about it for a second, and I actually got chills. When I stopped and thought about how have certain quarters tried to defame the man. Tried to defame the man if he puts a little toe out of place, try and slander the man. So they tried to defame him. They tried to slander him. Any little thing he does, they got something negative to say about it. But yet still, through it all, we have a significant tranche of the British public saying nay to the naysayers and supporting the dude anyway. I tell you the truth, I got chills. I got chills. And hold on a second, because okay, well, that's good. That's cool in the gang. So take it from there, John. I mean, that's just my feeling. But you share your thoughts and observations.
Well, what it seems to me is a large motivation for the people that hate on Anthony Joshua and support the other two guys that we've been talking about. It's just a whole load of negativity. They don't ever put their hands in their pockets for Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, and yet those groups of fans have got a heck of a lot of negativity towards AJ. It's just straightforward. It's jealousy. But I don't understand what there is to be. Who's doing? He never claims it's that statement. He just gets on and does it in the ring. Simple.
Yes, indeed. The naysayers have a lot to say. Joshua just gets his head down and does the business. And who came in next? It was the T. White. T. White, introduce yourself, please. Tandy, more calling Wilson. Radio Shack.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always. I'm actually having some audio problems over here, so give me a minute to figure it out.
Okay, no problem. You sound like Jermaine Jackson at the moment, so you need to figure that out, my friend. You're sounding like Jermaine Jackson. And who we got next? In comes the man like the Iron Kong. I don't know if you heard the news, Iron Kong, but Tottenham Hotspur has sold out.
Well, that's expected, right? This dude sells out wherever he is. People want to see the Joshua show. You know, whether they like him or dislike him, they want to see the Joshua show. So, sorry, the Oluwafemi show. I don't know who this Joshua character is, but they want to see the show. I guess we're talking about the people who might be. Of course, I've heard about it. I've seen people, of course, for some reason, people trying to discredit the guy. It's like, what? I don't understand. Like, people spend a lot of energy trying to discredit Femi a lot, and I'm not quite sure what the issue is with them. But I remember what Tony's review said: you can't be rich, good looking, and talented at the same time, because all three of those things by themselves get you a lot of hate. If you have all three together, you're gonna have a problem in this world. I mean, I see people already trying to discredit it, talking about resale. And it's like every time Joshua has a fight, this conversation comes about resale and all of this and all of this. But the guy has sold out around the world. He sold big numbers around the world, in America, Saudi, of course, in England. We've heard Tyson Fury say, I'm not appreciated in England, so I'm gonna go to America. He still hasn't sold out. So he's not appreciated nowheres. You know what I'm saying? But Joshua seems to draw a crowd wherever he goes. Listen, just give the man his props for being an earner, for being a hell of a fighter. All you have to do is just tell your favorite fighter to do better next time. That's all. They'll be all right.
Yes.
Can I just interject there, just a quick second? I think rather than telling their favourite fighters to do better, they should just go and buy some tickets for them, show a bit of support.
That's true. Because
if they just put their hands in their pocket instead of hating on AJ, maybe Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder's numbers would be better.
That's true. because a lot of these people, and when I used to be around these other channels that are so-called Deontay Wilder fans, because I don't think they're actually Deontay Wilder fans. I don't think they actually like Deontay Wilder. A lot of these dudes don't buy his pay-per-view. Well, the reason why they didn't put him on pay-per-view is because the people that handle Deontay Wilder know that the people who talk about Deontay Wilder don't actually want to buy his fight. The people that so-called support Deontay Wilder don't actually go to his fights, and that's a problem. Tyson Fury couldn't even come back to England, and he's from England. And the man has decided he's going to set up shop in America and then say, I'm not appreciated in America, in the UK. So John is right. Rather than wasting your time trying to dissect and discredit the man's selling ability, John is right. Put your hand in your pocket, pull out a few halfpennies, and please support Tyson Fury and Deontay. That's my problem. That's all. John is right.
I laughed at something there. I can't remember what made me laugh. Halfpennies. I like it. Okay. First of all, let me acknowledge the super chat, or the what do I call it? The support. It's from Aaron Daly. Have to sponsor the best panel on the YouTube boxing game. In the YouTube boxing game, Raphie, John Daly, Fight Doctor, and the Iron Kong. Hey, listen, I'm not going to blow my own trumpet, but listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. I scroll around, I look around, and it's hard for me to find it's hard for me to find the punch that's delivered over here, the conciseness. I look, I search, and it's very difficult for me to find it. I was over somewhere else, and it was hours of waffle. It was hours of waffle in the background. I can't lie. I ain't gonna say no more, but I like it. I likes it. I likes it over here. I likes it over here. You don't get hours of waffle over here. Absolutely not. It's concise. It's nice. And that said, let me get into this shiznix. Who's talking next? I think it's the Fight Doctor. Have you sorted out your situation?
Back on Rick James status with audio issues sorted out.
Excellente. Come on through, my friend. Come on through. Excuse me. We got the news yesterday. That Anthony Joshua versus Usyk had sold out within hours. What is your? And there's some positive aspects people are focusing on, and some negatives. Let's get you in here before your audio explodes. Come on in.
Well, I think it speaks to Anthony Joshua's drawing power. Good for him. I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm looking forward to Anthony Joshua ending the myth that is Alexander Usyk. I'm sick of hearing this man's name. I'm sick of all the publicity and hype for having done nothing at heavyweight. Like Larry Holmes, Anthony Joshua needs to take out the trash, which I'm not calling Usyk trash, but he's done nothing at heavyweight, nothing, right? And for the life of me, I don't understand why people are actually looking forward to this fight, because the guy does not even, you can make an argument he's not a top 10 heavyweight based on his resume.
Yeah, that argument can be made, but we know why he's there.
Right.
We know why he's there. We know why he's fighting.
Right. So the stupid rule by the WBO, which makes some sense, but in this case, this is crazy. But it is what it is. So we're going to get the fight. We get this mandatory out the way. But look, if I were Joshua, first thing, don't look past Usyk. Okay, that's a good way to lose a fight. That's the first thing.
Never do that.
Yeah, don't look past your opponent Focus on what's in front of you. Take care of that business, and then worry about the circus going on over here after you beat Usyk. But yeah, if I were Joshua, once I get past Usyk, then bring on the next best challenge. The circus is in town in America between Wilder and the Gypsy King. It's a circus. It's a sideshow. It's a joke. It's a joke. And really, I'm sick of talking about it because it's like, it's like I'm over it. It's like the ex-girlfriend from 2 years ago. I just don't give a damn anymore. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, just make the fight. I have my doubts. Right now, I think it's 50-50 this fight happens in October.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you're not the only person who I've heard say that. I mean, there are quite a few people who have said they don't think this fight is going to happen in October. I'm like, what? What?
I don't know if the fight's going to happen at all. Much less
Really?
in October. I don't know if it's going to happen at all.
Oh, nah, it's okay. No. Sorry, fight doctor. I was just chiming in. My bad. Go ahead.
No worries. Yeah, it's 50-50. And the more that the freak show, unravels, the more that the sideshow becomes, the main event, the more I'm convinced the fight's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm expecting lawsuits. I'm expecting that it's just going to be one huge mess.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there will be Anthony Joshua sort of left hanging in the wind while Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder sort out like their expletive.
Well, okay? I think my position, my stance on this whole thing now is that I don't know. There's something like I said it before. I wasn't joking. I got chills. I got chills when it was revealed that the damn thing Tottenham Hotspur sold out within a few hours. I got chills.
Raphie loving that grease.
I got chills. They're multiplying. And no, genuinely. I sat down and I thought about it. I thought, wow, for all the naysayers, for all the, he went to America. What show did he go on? He went on the Breakfast Club and you had, what's his name? Charlemagne coming with them little side snipers, side swipers. Yeah, he gave him some hand cream in the end, but yeah, you get that negativity, but yet at the end of the day, you got that one man just doing his job. You got one man just doing his job, and you got the other two who defame him every second of the day. You got the other two just prattling around. That's what we call it in the UK, prattling around, fooling around, dossing. You got the other two dossers, and you got one man just doing his job and catching flack. Catching flack for doing it. Somebody wanted to say something just then.
Yeah, listen, just sort of as a side note, something to keep your eye on, but COVID, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. The cough is getting turned back up over here in the States, right? It's becoming more and more of a thing. So hopefully this will not interrupt what's supposed to happen in October, but the cough is getting turned back up. It's getting more and more press. They're talking about the variant.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a thing potentially, I've heard rumblings of, Chicago where I live getting shut down. So,
well, listen, let me just say this. I'm not checking my diary. I don't know the date of the proposed date for the trilogy fight between Fury and Wilder. To me, it's just a circus. It's just whatever it is. I'm not looking for it. I don't know the date of it, and I honestly don't care. So if they say that fight is off again for whatever reason, I really won't. It won't skip a beat. I won't skip a beat. It won't affect me in any way, shape, manner, or form because I really don't care. I honestly don't care about it no more because they're both unreliable characters. And, you know, once I know somebody's unreliable, you can't put no stock in what they say. I honestly do not care.
Yeah, but sorry, Raphie, sorry, my bad.
Come on in.
I wanted to say about that though. The fight needs to happen because it's also choking the division.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's also a situation where these two guys could very well be fighting other people.
Yeah.
Because if these two don't fight, it really creates somewhat of a clog in the division, right?
Yes.
So these are two of the top heavyweights in the world. And you have people coming up who want the opportunity to fight them. So the fight has to happen. And if the situation,
well, excuse me, but they don't want to fight nobody though.
Right. Well, hold on. What I'm saying is that if it's an issue to fight in America, they need to move the fight to where it can happen because they're choking the division because they're holding up a major sanctioning body belt, whether or not we believe in belts or not. It creates an issue because you have people in that sanctioning body. And the WBC, if this becomes an issue, has to demand that their belt be defended, or then they have to strip the champion. All right, simple as that. Because the fight shouldn't be dependent on the belt. The fight needs to happen. But if it's an issue where you can't fight again, you can't be allowed to clog the division. Yeah. That's the problem.
Well, they're clogging the division, and let's be frank, they've been clogging the division for the last for some time now.
They actually told us they were going to do this in the run up to the first fight. They told us they could freeze out Anthony Joshua for as long as they wanted, fighting each other in the run up to Fury Wilder 1. They told us they were going to do it. It's what they're doing. And I've got to be honest, at this point, I'd rather see Anthony Joshua fight Joe Joyce in Nigeria and just go.
Yeah.
Like, Anthony Joshua's got options. He doesn't need these two people. I agree with Owen Kong. If they're just going to mess about, they should be stripped.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into it properly, but I believe Dillian White's mandatory status has now been clarified.
Okay.
Hopefully that's true. And if there's any further delays put on this fight, hopefully they will be stripped.
Yeah.
Because to be frank, if Dillian's WBC champion, that's a big fight for AJ. Massive undisputed fight. Doesn't need to be Tyson Fury at all.
That's a big fight, but once again, we have a situation where once again, AJ's fighting another top contender, and them other two big dossers. I shouldn't call them pretenders, but the other two big dossers. What are they doing? They're just having a reheat. They're having another reheated meal. It's thoroughly. I find the other two guys thoroughly unimpressive. Once again, Joshua's fighting another respectable top 10, and in the form of Usyk. And the next time he's out, no doubt he'll be fighting another strong top 10 fighter. So you got one guy doing all the work, and I just can't be enthused about them other cats. I don't even count them. I don't even rate them as being good for the sport. They're busy fighting each other or low-hanging fruit. They're really bringing the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are bringing boxing, the heavyweight boxing division, into disrepute. They're bringing the whole damn thing into disrepute. I think both of them are guilty of conduct unbecoming of champions. We got word. Why is the noisiest mic the only one that's not muted? We got word coming out from America. Well, there's talk of the face of boxing. Well, we know it's either there's not a face of boxing. There's two faces of boxing. Boxing has two faces, and those two faces are Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez. There are two faces of boxing. I tell you, I got chills. I got chills when this thing came around. I think it's right. I think it is right. It's right that the guy who's doing the heavy lifting is getting the recognition as a face of boxing, as one of the two faces of boxing. Can't see Mauricio stripping whoever has the belt. No, I can't see either. It's unfortunate. It needs to grow a backbone. Wouldn't it be amazing if he grew a backbone? Listen, people have grown backbones overnight before. Well, maybe not overnight, but over a period of time. Listen, let's have some optimism.
I'm actually not sure I agree with that statement, Raphie.
Go ahead.
Well, at the threat of legal action,
yeah,
they've now come to a decision on Dillian White's situation to avoid going to court. So I think Dillian may have learned something from this, that if it goes any further, he wants to take them to court for not putting them into recess. Because it wouldn't surprise me if they don't fight this year.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Give him the individual track record. So then if it comes to February next year, well, that's 2 years.
Yeah.
The belt hasn't even been defended. Well, Tyson Fury, by the reckoning of old school boxing, is still not a champion because he still hasn't defended a belt.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. That's right. Marion G says AJ's resume now, let alone after Usyk, excuse me, is league above anyone else's in the division. Why he gets hate is beyond me. Well, that's the thing, Marion. All the hate he gets from the little wieners, the wiener crew, and for me to see he sold out the way he sold out, it was just it was gratifying. It was really gratifying seeing someone who deserves the accolades get the accolades. Saw Eddie Hearn saying he wants Canelo Bivol on the same date. Dang. If Plant falls through, wow, that would be awesome. Ain't gonna happen, but I'd welcome it. Does anyone think WBC Bridgerweight division is going anywhere in boxing? No, I do not. Adari Pennant. I think you asked me that question on Twitter. Does anybody else think it's going to catch on? Let's go around the table on this one. Anyone think that the WBC Bridgerweight division is going anywhere in boxing? I'm going to come back to Joshua. Let's go around the table. Iron Kong. And
sorry. My bad.
No problem. The question there is from Adari Pennant. Does anyone think the WBC Bridgerweight division is going anywhere in boxing?
Nay, rara, no.
Nada. Fight doctor.
I think what they'll do is they'll probably move the cruiserweight limit up to maybe 210 pounds and do away with this Bridgerweight nonsense.
Yeah.
Let me just say, Fight Doctor's mic sounding crispy, boy.
You're sounding very crispy. Sounding very clear.
Yes, sounding crispy, man. Yeah, man.
I don't know what happened. You must have gone back to Radio Shack.
We made an upgrade. A small
upgrade. Yeah, man.
Wow. Damn. Sounding good. John D. Lee. Where's the question?
Bridgerweight, Raph, is it going anywhere?
Yeah.
I hope it isn't. The cruiserweight division is already the sort of gingerhead stepchild of boxing anyway.
Yeah.
So trying to put another one in there just seems not the best plan. And if you're actually going to put in a different weight class, something between like heavy and cruiser might actually be a better place to put it, because it's a 25-pound jump from light heavy to cruiserweight, isn't it?
That's right.
Massive.
It is significant. But coming out to that, we'd like to do it over here nice and nice and swift. I think the fight doctor, you want to say something earlier on. I think you want to say something earlier on.
Yeah. So you were saying how Joshua is fighting top opposition. No, Usyk is not top opposition. He's not. He's top opposition at cruiserweight, sure, but at heavyweight, no, he's not. All right. At the end of the day, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, should the fight come off in October, they are both facing stiffer opposition than what Anthony Joshua is doing. Or honestly,
who's facing stiffer opposition?
Both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder
are facing stiffer opposition.
Are facing stiffer opposition than
each other.
In each other, yes.
No. That's a reheated meal. That's the third time. This is the third time. This ain't stiff opposition now. This is two guys who know each other pretty damn well. This ain't tough competition. This ain't tough competition now. Tough competition is fighting somebody you ain't never fought before, who's a lineal champion in the weight class below. That's stiff.
Okay, now you're shifting the goalposts. Okay, now you're redefining.
I'm not shifting the goalposts.
Raphie, you're redefining what stiff opposition is. Right? Listen, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier fought each other 3 times. No one would argue, right? No one would argue that on fight 2 and fight number 3, that both men were not facing top opposition. Well, but that seems to be the argument that you're making right now.
Okay, let me put a different question to the fight doctor a second.
Yeah, let me say this first though. Right. No one can say that Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury is top opposition, because they have not fought enough top opposition for them to be truly considered the top opposition.
Okay, who are your top 5 at heavyweight?
Who's my top 5 at heavyweight right now?
Sir, right now.
Well, I mean, Anthony Joshua #1. Tyson Fury, maybe #2. Deontay, what's his name? Dillian White, #3.
Two more to go. Go ahead. I know you can say it. Go ahead and say it.
#4 and Deontay Wilder #5.
Okay, now what were you saying just 2 minutes ago?
What? Tell me. You tell me.
Well, you're saying that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder are not fighting top opposition, yet and still both guys are fighting a top 5 heavyweight in their next fight. So I fail to follow your logic, sir.
#2 is fighting #5, but has #2 hasn't fought. #2 hasn't fought only but one top 10 heavyweight in the last 5 years. That's #2. And then #5, who is Deontay Wilder. I mean, when was the last time he fought a legitimate top 10 guy? I mean, is it Ortiz?
In his last fight. What are you talking about?
In his last fight. Oh,
yes.
With Fury, outside of Fury.
Again, here we are shifting the goalposts.
Outside of Fury and outside of Wilder. These guys ain't fought nobody in the last
fight. We need to be consistent with our logic, sir. Okay.
Outside of Fury,
the shifting of the goalposts.
Nobody in the last 5 years. Carry on, John.
Yeah. The fight doctor. When Larry Holmes fought Spinks, was that a legitimate test for Holmes?
Yeah, I would say yes. The reason being is that Michael Spinks is arguably the greatest light heavyweight in history. Right?
What are you basing that on? Because I don't really understand those better than Archie Moore, but please explain.
I said arguably. Now, if you wish to argue more over Spinks, then look, I would not argue against that. Archie Moore, hell of a fighter, the old mongoose, an all-time great, right? But again, Michael Spinks was, like I said, arguably the greatest light heavyweight in history and a hell of a fighter. So legitimate test for Holmes, who was basically was outside of his prime, was knocking the door on old age. Yes, it was a legitimate test.
Whoa, steady on. What year? Holmes' post-Tyson resume is actually okay.
But listen,
hold on. Didn't Holmes beat Trevor Burbeck after he fought Mike Tyson?
the Burbick win came before he fought Mike Tyson.
So if it
I'm not
wasn't
mistaken.
Burbeck, he's got.
But I fail to understand why why are we even talking about Larry Holmes when there are no comparisons to be drawn between Larry Holmes and Anthony Joshua.
You're trying to make out like Larry was old. I don't agree with that.
Well, he was old. He wasn't ancient, but he was old.
That's point one. How old was he?
He was 36, I think he was at the time of the Spinks fight. 36.
I'm going to have to fact check that. So that's point one. Point two, how many undisputed cruiserweight champions have there been? Because Usyk has got to be, if he's not the best, which I don't think he was, he's got to be the second best.
Well, one, the cruiserweight division is relatively new.
Yeah,
that's the first thing.
But the weight disparity between the cruiserweight division and the heavyweight division is not as great as the weight disparity between the light heavyweight division and the heavyweight division. So you're not using consistent logic, which is what you were trying to accuse Raphie of. So I'm just pointing out that if you're going to talk about consistent logic, you need to recognize that this is a legitimate thing for the heavyweight champion to defend his belt against an undisputed champion from the immediate weight class below. Happened many times. Some of Joe Lewis's best fights were against Billy Conn. The list is quite extensive. I mean, let's look at Archie Moore as an example. His whole reason for being put in the competition to find the new heavyweight champion when Rocky Marciano retired was based on him losing to Rocky Marciano.
All right. So wait. First and foremost, I need to correct you on a few things. All right. First is that when Michael Spinks challenged Larry Holmes, there was 1 pound that separated light heavyweight from heavyweight, because at that time there was no cruiserweight division. So your argument that there's a greater separation between heavyweight and light heavyweight and heavyweight and cruiserweight, in fact, is incorrect when we put things in their proper context. Second, Michael Spinks actually beat some heavyweights, good heavyweights. He beat a great heavyweight. Who in the hell has Alexander Usyk beaten? Who has he beat? Huh? What has he done? Michael Spinks actually has a resume at heavyweight, a respectable one. All right? Especially when you look at the cherry that's sitting on the top of that resume. Who in the hell has Usyk beaten? Listen, Michael Spinks was a legend before he went up to heavyweight. And he went up to heavyweight and beat an unbeaten, undefeated legend. Right? What the hell has Usyk done? I don't understand why we make all of these comparisons when there's no grounds on which there's no basis to make these comparisons. Why are we even talking about Larry Holmes? Wait, let me finish. Let me finish, please. Let me finish, please. Why are we talking about Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks when there is no comparison to be made between Anthony Joshua and Larry Holmes? None, zero. Anthony Joshua has not done half of what Larry Holmes has done. That's first. Second, wait, let me finish. Second, there is no comparison to be made between Michael Spinks and Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk has not done half of what Michael Spinks has done. Usyk has not done half of what Spinks has done as a heavyweight. Period.
Hold on.
So I'm not understanding where are these comparisons coming from. It don't make sense.
You've said a lot, and you've also said that I'd made some mistakes. Now I'm looking at BoxRec now, to correct you because you're in error. These are your errors, your initial error. Jim McDonald, the fight before Larry Holmes, was fought at light heavyweight. The fight before that was against David Sears, fought at light heavyweight. So he went immediately from light heavyweight fights into the Larry Holmes fight. And I'm talking about a precedent of the heavyweight champion of the world fighting people from the weight class immediately below. And if you're going to be finickety about a 1 pound difference, well, then that's a parity. Because if you're 1 pound over the cruiserweight limit, you are technically a heavyweight. But the point is, it's an unlimited weight class, and it's very rare that fighters in the heavyweight division are 1 pound heavier than the weight class beneath them, whether it's light heavy or cruiserweight. Those two are just facts. So, A, you're wrong about Michael Spinks having a resume at heavyweight before he fought Larry Holmes. Now, if you're going to say that Larry Holmes is a superior heavyweight to Anthony Joshua, that's fine with me. I have him third on my all-time list. So I'm not trying to say that Anthony Joshua is as good as Larry Holmes. What I am saying to you is there is a precedent for this. Rocky Marciano fought Archie Moore, light heavyweight champion of the world. Billy Conn fought Joe Louis, light heavyweight champion versus heavyweight champion. Bob Foster, who did Bob Foster fight as light heavyweight champion, fighting the heavyweight champion? I want to say Ali, but I think I'm wrong. I think it's somebody else.
It was either Frazier or Ali. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's one of those two. So my point is, there's a historical precedent for this happening. It's happened throughout history. Now, if you want to say that Michael Spinks is a better light heavyweight than Usyk is a cruiserweight, okay.
Michael Spinks is a better heavyweight than Usyk is a heavyweight.
Well, the thing is, where you're wrong is he had no resume at heavyweight before.
I never claimed that he did. I said he has a better heavyweight. That's not what I said.
Play this back because you said he had accomplished a lot more than Usyk had at heavyweight before he took on the world champion.
No, sir. I said he had accomplished more at heavyweight than Usyk has, which he has.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a bit of a retrospective thing because he beat the heavyweight champion in his first fight at heavyweight. Now, I'm just saying there's a precedent for a fight of this nature happening.
Who did?
Well, Michael Spinks' first fight at heavyweight was against Larry Holmes. And the reason that was considered a good fight at the time is because Spinks was the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. That's the reason they fought. Usyk is the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, and he's taking on the heavyweight champion.
So let's get this clear. Fight doctor. Let's get this clear for everybody. Spinks, Michael Spinks came up from cruiserweight. Was he cruiserweight or light heavy? Cruiser.
So there was no cruiserweight.
Yeah, there was no cruiserweight.
So he came up from light heavyweight and beat the reigning heavyweight champion. True or false?
That's true.
Okay, so why are you constantly discrediting Usyk's ability?
I'm not discrediting Usyk's ability. I'm discrediting his resume as a heavyweight. He's done nothing, right? I'm discrediting.
What had Michael Spinks done?
I'll tell you. Michael Spinks had established himself as a legitimate all-time great as a light heavyweight. What the hell has Usyk done? Right? What the hell has Usyk done?
Spinks done at heavyweight before beating Larry Holmes at heavyweight?
Nothing.
I rest my case.
But once again,
how many undisputed cruiserweight champions have there been in the history of the division?
Maybe three. Two.
There's two. So on that basis, and I don't believe Usyk to be the greatest cruiserweight. I think Holyfield was. But he is
okay. But again, this is the reason why this whole argument falls apart, right? Cruiserweight is a new division, relatively speaking. So we're talking about.
You're saying Usyk ain't no good and ain't done nothing, so he hasn't deserved the shot. When we can see he was a lineal cruiserweight champion. You can't.
Okay, listen. Look.
Can't be more than lineal. You can't do more than that. So you really and truly. We have to simply accept. We look at the precedent. We look at Michael Spinks going up from cruiserweight and beating the highly respected Larry Holmes. So you can't deny or denigrate Usyk's opportunity as a lineal cruiserweight going up to
All right, see,
the
but
heavyweight.
here's the problem. Again, here's the problem.
I think he should have gone down in the lower top 10. Give him a top 10 and let him have 2 fights to work his way up to number 1. But that ain't the case. But there is precedent. We have precedent. So you really have to stop giving Usyk a hard time because he was the lineal cruiserweight.
All right, wait, all right, we have to stop. Now, see, wait, no, see, this is all nonsense. This is all nonsense.
For this, and I don't want to stay on this point for too long.
No, we need to. This is nonsense.
We have to touch on.
Look, this is nonsense. Can I get in a word, please?
You can have the last word. You can have the last word on this before we move on. Because
look,
I think
first of all, the cruiserweight division has only been around for every bit of 2 minutes, relatively speaking. All right, let's get that out of the way first. So being the second best, the quote unquote second best cruiserweight in history, arguably, isn't saying much, and it's damn sure not saying much as Michael Spinks being arguably the best light heavyweight in the division, considering the names that have come through that division. Roy Jones Jr., Archie Moore, okay, Gene Tunney, Bob Foster, and I could go on for days talking about the guys who've come through that division. Who in the hell has fought at cruiserweight recently? Whatever, huh?
No, any question?
David Hay? Get the fuck out of it. I'm sorry, but no. So
Evander Holyfield, an all-time great Hall of Famer.
Any question you ask? Any question? What did you say, John?
Well, he wants to know, who we're talking about as all-time greats, which is getting on for 40 years now. Not quite 4 years, 35 years. Evander Holyfield, undisputed cruiserweight champion. You go all the way back to Billy Conn fighting Joe Louis. How many years have the light heavyweight division really been truly contested at that point? Doesn't take anything away from the fact that Billy Conn gave Joe Louis a hell of a fight. That's a massive precedent. And Billy Conn isn't one of the all-time great light heavyweights, in my opinion. There's just a precedent for this thing happening. It's always been deemed as acceptable.
Okay, so Fight Doctor, you've had your say. You've had your say. We've gone through it. We showed that there's a precedent. There's not more than anybody can do. There's a precedent. There is a precedent. Michael Spinks went up from cruiserweight to heavyweight and beat the heavily respected Larry Holmes. There is a precedent. And therefore, after that, I don't see what we're talking about. I don't see what the argument is. We got lineal cruiserweight moving up to heavyweight. And once again, Anthony Joshua is fighting a highly respected opponent.
He's fighting a highly respected tomato can. Call it what it is.
Tomato can. He's a tomato can. He's why? Well, which better cruiserweight did Deontay Wilder fight in his career?
And once again, the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent dusts off their pom-poms.
Question.
Okay. Why is it that whenever we're talking about Anthony Joshua, the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent wants to bring up Deontay Wilder? We're not even talking about Deontay Wilder. Last I checked, Deontay Wilder was not a titleist at heavyweight. So why are we even talking about him?
We're looking at the shysters. We're looking at the shysters of the division. The guys who they don't want to put in a full day's work, but at the end of the week they want a full week's pay. Yeah, but they're shysters. They're shysters. So we're looking at the which better cruiserweight has Deontay Wilder fought? Which better cruiserweight has Tyson Fury fought? The two shysters. I'll wait. Name me them. None.
Not better, but they have both fought plenty of cruiserweights. Steve Cunningham for Tyson Fury, who did put Tyson Fury down.
He dropped him on his ass.
Yes, and Jason Gavin for Deontay Wilder. The fight immediately before he fought for a world title. There's two cruiserweights.
Oh Lord, Spilker.
Oh, there are many cruiserweights on Deontay Wilder's resume.
Many. Fight doctor, you never had any problem with Deontay Wilder fighting cruiserweights. What's up now? Wait, hold
on a second. Again,
what's up now?
Who says I didn't have a problem with Deontay Wilder fighting cruiserweights? Listen, above and beyond that, I don't recall Deontay Wilder having fought a cruiserweight as the WBC champion. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Spilka.
Arthur Spilka, cruiserweight.
Okay, I stand corrected.
So
now we establish that Anthony Joshua is no better than Deontay Wilder. Thank you, sir.
Anthony Joshua is the best cruiserweight champion.
How many cruiserweight titles did Arthur Spilka win?
Okay, I don't think the fight doctor was being serious. I don't think the fight doctor was clearly not, because he's on.
Listen, if Deontay Wilder were fighting a cruiserweight in his next fight, I would criticize the hell out of him.
Listen.
All right.
The question was, which better cruiserweight has Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder fought? And the answer is none.
I have a better question. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
I have a better question than that. What has the price of tea in China got to do with this?
Nothing.
Think about
Same
that.
as the question that you're asking has nothing to do with the fact that your guy is about to fight a cruiserweight and a feather-fisted cruiserweight on top of that.
Therefore, sir, if it's not, the answer is nothing, which it is, then your question to me was redundant, sir. That's the point I'm trying to make. But anyway, okay, so I think we've covered that, but there's some more angles we need to touch on, guys. That's why I have to move it along. We all know, we are all aware, are we not, that that McCraken will not be in attendance for the Anthony Joshua fight because he will be over in Japan at the Olympics. We are all aware of that, are we not? Because I know that some people aren't. I'm monitoring the backstage kind of comments. So some people aren't. Well, if you weren't, well, hey, if you don't know, now you know. Anthony Joshua vows not to be affected by the absence of trainer Rob McCraken ahead of the fight against Alexander Usyk. Okay, I'm monitoring the backstage, not on this, elsewhere. And some people did not know. So we have to touch on that. Anthony Joshua has insisted that the depth of knowledge throughout his training team can compensate for the absence of trainer Rob McCraken in the build-up to his fight with Alexander Usyk. McCraken is also Team GB performance director, and he's at the Tokyo Olympics, where the boxing is due to end on Sunday. So he'll be back for the fight. Okay, my bad. So basically, McCraken is absent. He's going to be absent for a portion, meaning McCraken will miss a portion of the training camp. McCraken will miss a portion of the training camp. Yeah. What we're doing here, everything that comes with it, I want. Okay. But Joshua is refusing to be phased and told Sky Sports everyone brings something different to the table. Usyk will bring in Vasily Lomachenko's dad. He works with Russ Anber. I have a list of different nutritionists and strength and conditioning coaches that I will bring in for this fight. He's changing his team because people have a wealth of knowledge. It's been good having a wider team working collectively. Okay, where am I going to go? I'm not going to mess around too much with this. Iron Kong, are you there?
Man. I'm here, man.
Yeah, man. Come with it. Joshua's going to be without his trainer for a little bit of time.
That's okay. I mean, I'm quite sure Joshua has enough people to keep him occupied, keep him working. He brought in the guy, this guy who he brought in before the last Ruiz fight.
Right.
And that's what he kind of has to work on, because that guy Fernandez, I think, helped him with a lot with his movement and all of this. So that's what he's gonna mostly need with Usyk, because Usyk is gonna try and turn this into a track meet, I think.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to work on his footwork to trap Usyk, set up traps for Usyk, and to cut the ring off and all of that. So it's no big issue. I mean, the Olympics, I think, are done on the 8th, I think. So it should be all right. Rob will be back and finish up training camp. So Joshua has been here before. He's a professional. He knows what he needs to do. I agree with Fight Doctor. He cannot take his eyes off of Alexander Usyk at all. I mean, unlike other people, I think this is going to be an extremely tough fight, because I think Usyk knows enough to not get knocked out, and he's going to try and turn this into a track meet, pop shot, and try and get away. Right? So I don't think he's going to try and do like with Bellew, where he with Tony Bellew, he took some shots because I think he was just trying to get Tony Bellew's rhythm and his movement. So he took some shots from Tony, but I don't think he'll try that with Joshua. So I think from the outset, he's going to try and use his legs and turn it into a track meet. So I think it's going to be a tough fight in that respect. But I don't think Rob McCraken missing for a few weeks or a few more days is going to be a big issue for Joshua. He has enough coaches.
Yes. So, moving around, John D. Lee.
I think a lot of the day-to-day training has been being done by Joby Clayton and Angel Fernandez anyway. So I don't think Rob being away for a couple of weeks is going to really have an impact on what Joshua's doing. I don't really agree with Iron Kong about how the fight will play out, because the reach differential will mean that all AJ has to do is hold centre ring, and for Usyk to score any point, he's going to have to come to Joshua. So Joshua doesn't actually need to chase him around, because he's got a massive reach advantage. He's got a 4-inch reach advantage over him. And I've yet to find an opponent. The only one who's possibly had a reach advantage over Usyk out of all his opponents is actually Chaz Witherspoon, who hit Usyk pretty easily. So it'll be interesting to see what tactics they actually employ, because he's going to have a very high energy infighting in the way that we see Lomachenko do. But I don't know if he can sustain that at heavyweight, particularly as soon as he's put on a stone, or 14 pounds for our American friend.
Okay. Yes. Interesting. The Fight Doctor. Well, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, let me go on in. Let me have a go. Okay. So I see as, the shorter guy, the shorter reach, Usyk will have to come to Joshua. He's going to have to come to Joshua. When he comes to Joshua, he's going to get punched in the head several times per round. As a result of the repeated blows to the head, Usyk is going to start to feel woozy. As a result of the wooziness, Usyk is going to fall to the ground in the 9th round. So, I repeat, as a result of getting punched in the head, Usyk is going to start to feel woozy. As a result of feeling woozy, Usyk is going to drop to the ground in the 9th round. The Iron Kong. No, not the Iron Kong. The Fight Doctor. Your turn.
I am not expecting Usyk to hear the final bell. He's not a heavyweight. He doesn't have heavyweight punch. He is not defensively gifted. Joshua has all of the advantages: height, the reach, the weight, the power. I just don't see how Usyk makes it to the 12th round unless he pulls, unless he just runs around the ring all night and waits for Joshua to tire, which that might be a strategy, But if he If he comes to win the fight, then I see him getting stretched.
That might be the strategy. That might be the strategy. Smash that like button, guys. What's going on here? For Ben Media. I've seen that name before. I think I have. Where is he? On Twitter? You follow me on Twitter? Do we follow each other on Twitter? Anyway, hello and welcome. Where is all the AJ hate coming from you're all talking about? Nobody's even talking about AJ here in the USA. Nobody's talking about the unified champion in the United States. Really? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about? I'm not even talking about the PBC crew. I'm not even talking about the LDBC. I'm talking about over here in the UK. We got haters like Tyson Fury and his ilk. Tyson Fury and his ilk. You know, I'll put it like that. What's this? I got AJ on points. Usyk may be outboxing him most of the fight, but I just can't see him getting the decision. Interesting views there, Marion G. Interesting views there. To be fair, Usyk has shown that he can force the issue against a bigger guy, Joyce, at heavyweight. Okay, for 5 rounds. A longer fight will be different, though. Yeah, and that was a few years ago as well. And that was a relatively green Joyce. But I do agree that Usyk can push the pace, but I think he's going to be getting hit. He's going to be getting hit in the face. He's going to be getting concussive blows. And I think that is going to change the complexion of the fight. You were saying
the reach differential is not really the same against Joe Joyce. It's 2-inch reach difference. Joe Joyce has got an 80-inch reach. Usyk's got a 78-inch reach. Against Joshua, he's got to overcome a 4-inch reach disadvantage. So he has got to press the fight and get out without getting hit by someone who has got better hand speed than Joe Joyce. Significantly better hand speed than Joe Joyce.
Significantly better hand speed and significantly more reach. I think somebody wanted to come in there. My mistake. Okay, that's not a problem.
No, I was gonna say, because I gotta hop off soon.
Yeah.
Why is it your man Michael Hunter now calling out Dillian White for a fight? Why are all the IBF guys who ducked Philip Hergovich calling out Dillian White for a fight? What's up with this, man? What's up with
crazy? They're crazy. He ducked Hergovich. For those who don't know, Michael Hunter got a knockout win the other day over there on Triller or something, some other thing, and now he's calling out Dillian White.
Yeah, you got Charles Martin, you got Michael Hunter, 2 guys that were supposed to fight Philip Hergovich for the IBF straight shot to Joshua's IBF belt. They both duck Hergovich, and they both want to fight Dillian White. Like, what? I'm not sure what's happening. Like,
it's clear what's happening. Iron Kong. They're ducking the work. They're ducking the work, and they're trying to creep round. They think what they're saying that Hergovich, didn't want to risk it with Hergovich.
Hergovich a prospect. What are we talking about here?
It's crazy. It's madness.
It's madness. Oh my God.
It's outrageous. It's crazy.
Maybe there's bigger money in Dillian White.
How many people just go for? You see, that's why I have to tip my hat to Anthony Joshua. That's why I have to tip my hat to Anthony Joshua. And I really do wish him wealth and prosperity, because he's the only guy out there. He's the only cat out there who's willing to just go through the fire. He's the only cat out there willing to go through the fire. The other cat's Wilder. He's just meh.
Raphie, I'm a slide off, man. Peace to the PhD, the John Dealey. Y'all have a nice evening. Yeah, man. Peace to y'all, man.
Shout out to the Iron Kong.
Yeah.
Have a good evening, Iron Kong.
Shout out to the Iron Kong. Much appreciation for him coming on, and we press on. Much thanks to the guy's own channel. Go check him out. Say hi. What's going on? You see my name here. I've sent super. All right, my bad, Ben. That's where I must have seen your name. Okay, great to have you back up in here. AJ should be talked about. He's the man at heavyweight. He is the friggin' man. And
Nonsense.
he is one of the faces. He's one of the faces of football. He's one of the faces of boxing. If it ain't him, it's Canelo. If it ain't Canelo, it's Joshua. But there's nobody else at heavyweight doing what Joshua does. I'm gonna have to start going in hard on these fools, on these cretins who are acting, shaping like they want it. You know, your Fury, acting like he wants it. Wilder acting like he wants it, when really they remind me of kids hiding behind their mom's skirt. They're just two kids, big kids hiding behind their mom's skirt because they don't really want it. They're talking ish behind their mom's legs. Yeah, the calf muscle. We go back to the calf muscle. Okay, so what's going on? Got to imagine a payday is bigger for White than Hergovic. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Donovan Williams up in the building. Yeah, definitely respect to the calm. No question, no ifs, no buts about it. Okay. So what else we're looking at? We've covered that aspect. What other angle? How silly of me. I almost missed one big aspect over here. Okay. So people are talking about, yeah, but Joshua hasn't really sold out. He hasn't really sold out. Secondary tickets are not, yeah. Well, listen, the primary tickets are sold out. What happens is, what's going on here? What happens is the primary ticket sellers sell to whoever wants to buy. Now, that's going to be a combination of the general public, and that's the general paying public, and secondary sellers, touts, ticket touts, or organizations who sell secondary tickets. So the primary ticket sellers, they're all out of tickets. So the tickets have gone. So the tickets have been paid for. So so the accountants have that money. Now, the tickets that go to the secondary ticket markets, well, they're already been sold. They're already been sold. So if the primary seller, primary organization has sold out of tickets, then all of the tickets have been sold. Fight Doctor, is there any ambiguity there? Is there any confusion?
No. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the situation is come fight night.
Well, come fight night, nothing's going to change. All of the tickets have been sold. John D. Lee.
Well, yeah. So the money that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua and whatever Usyk is going to get from the gate, has been made.
They've got it.
They've got it.
Yeah.
Now, if it's 100% tickets out that have bought it all out in 24 hours, they're doing that for a reason.
Right.
Because they're confident they're going to get a return on buying all these tickets. So they do it for a living. They do it to make money. They're experienced in this matter. And yeah, it might happen every time AJ fights. But we don't see many empty seats either, do we?
That is correct. They don't need curtains. They don't need curtains to curtain off certain section of the auditorium to hide unsold seats, as they do when Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight, for example.
And they don't give any away for free either.
And they don't have to give thousands of tickets away for free. The Fight Doctor, do you have anything to say on that matter, sir?
That remains to be seen. We'll know what the story is come fight night.
No, there are no free tickets. They've all been bought.
Yeah, they've all been bought.
And the question is, who bought them? I mean, if the promoter of the fight is buying up the tickets in an attempt to resell them,
that is illegal. He's not.
No, in this country that can't happen. What does happen is you get third parties buying the tickets to sell on essentially a black market. Now, if that does happen, and probably a huge portion of these tickets have been bought, but that means money has gone to the promoter, to the venue, and from that point of view, they are going to make all the money that they can make from the gate because they've sold all their tickets.
Yes.
What will now happen is those third parties will attempt to make a profit themselves by selling the tickets on at a higher value. And normally that happens for all AJ fights, and normally the attendance is full. So if the attendance isn't full, the touts will make a loss, but Hearn, AJ, Usyk, and Tottenham Hotspur venue, they will have their money.
Yes. That's well put. So Anthony Joshua, 258 management, Matchroom, The Zone, they've all been paid. They've all sold the tickets. You had a ticket in your hand and now you've sold it. You have been paid. What's this? The tickets have literally been purchased. Yes. If that was 100% touts, it's still sold out. Yeah. And correct. And it's not 100% touts because a lot of people have got their tickets. We know Leighton Evelyn. He's no doubt got his ticket. Needs to come back and confirm that. What's this year? Alex Hode. Raph, stop being a Matchroom Anthony Joshua fan. What element? What have I said that's fanboyish? Listen. I only speak facts, Alex. I only speak facts. Okay. So, the tickets are bought out. It's not like a Tyson Fury fight or a Deontay Wilder fight. Those things don't sell out. I don't know if those guys have ever sold out an auditorium yet. So that's the big difference between Anthony Joshua and your likes of your Deontay Wilder and your Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury has fought in a sold-out stadium in Germany against Vladimir Klitschko. That's the opponent. The only time he's ever done
it. Good point. Good looking out. Tyson Fury did it once, or was it Vladimir Klitschko who did it? Okay. So what the other elements do we need to touch on right about now? What other elements have I missed out? Are you
Alvarez?
Hold on. I want to just finish up with Joshua first. I want to just finish up with Joshua. Won't hold O2, I believe, StubHub. Okay, let's have a look. The reason he doesn't want to, okay, there's some excuses there. Angel Fernandez is going to be in Joshua's corner. Joe B. Clayton will be in the training arrangement. McCraken will be a portion of the camp due to his Olympic commitment. Let's have a look. So it doesn't have his main. Was that right? No, he's at the Olympics. Joshua hasn't got his main man. No, he's at the Olympics. I think Joshua might need McCraken for this fight. Nah, he's got a full staff. McCraken is not there at the moment. Let me just see if there's anything I need to correct there. He knows. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think I've covered everything there. What's going on? Fight Doctor is chomping at the bit to talk about Canelo. Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed by AJ. I was excited after the Wilder fight, but ever since, after, he always has an excuse for not. Cristiano Wu, my dear fellow. 3 words. Crack is whack, in the words of Whitney Houston. Okay. So, the Fight Doctor, come on in with the Canelo talk.
Crack is whack, and it's unfortunate that the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent finds it so delicious. Now, having said that,
delicious.
I've said it before.
What have you been sprinkling on your magic mushroom, sir?
The same thing that the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent uses.
The same thing that Whitney Houston used to have for breakfast. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, the same thing that the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent uses to dress their salad with. So that's what. Yeah.
Salad. Okay.
Which is sprinkling your cereal in the morning.
Cereal, milky cereal. LL Cool J track. Nobody knows that. Oh, that's okay. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about Canelo. Talk to me.
So I've said it before, and I maintain that Canelo Alvarez is the most protected fighter in the sport, without question. And his recent antics are underscoring the point. This is, without question, ridiculous. So you want to get paid $40 million to fight a replacement, and now, with less than 8 weeks, you want to drag a light heavyweight champion down to, first it was 168, now it's 170. Never mind the fact that you fought at the full 175-pound limit, and you are a former title holder in the division. I guess the Alvarez fan base has forgotten about this. Your man is a former champion at the full 175-pound limit, and he's fought and won a title at the full 175-pound limit. So this is ridiculous.
So
this is not a good look.
What should he do? What should he do then? What should Canelo do?
I honestly, I don't know. Take some time off, maybe, because right now what he's doing to his legacy, if you want to call it that, is he's running it through the ground. He's dragging it through the mud. That's what he's doing in my mind. Because this is just really not a good look, right? It's diva-ish to the nth degree.
Diva-ish. So you're saying that if he pulls somebody into a September fight, yeah, Canelo should just cancel. So if he pulls somebody into a Canelo fight, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that fight, doctor?
Look, fight Plant at 168 pounds. Problem solved. Look, if you do that, nobody can call you a diva. I can't call you a diva anymore if you do that. But this malarkey that you're pulling right now is diva-ish to the nth degree. I'm sorry, it just is. It is. You want to fight a light heavyweight at 175 at 170 pounds, less than 8 week training camp. What would you call it? What would any reasonable person call this? Really?
I heard Canelo's. I heard where's the thumbnail? I heard Canelo's looking at Bivol.
That's what the fight box is talking about. Though.
Okay, so you're saying if he fights Bivol, he should fight Bivol at 175, or 170.
He should fight Bivol at the 107. He should fight him in Bivol's weight class, where you are a former titleist.
175.
It'd be a different story. Maybe I could understand had he never fought at 175 pounds before. But not only has he fought there, he held a title there. So what's the problem? What has changed since then that now all of a sudden you need this stupid catch weight, and above and beyond that, you need the stupid catch weight on short notice?
He should fight him. He should fight him at 175.
He should fight him at 175 pounds and get up off of this diva nonsense that he's on.
I agree with the fight, doctor. Not only should he fight Bivol at 175 pounds, he should give Bivol a 12-week camp.
Yeah.
I've got some serious question marks over this constant short camp issue with a convicted drug cheat. Well, he is. I mean, to the extent that the WBC increased the acceptable amount of clenbuterol purely because Canelo popped for it. On top of that, we've got a fighter who's consistently was showing stamina issues, no longer showing those issues, but never, ever, ever having more than a 6-week camp.
Yeah, yeah, they ain't right.
So this is A-side gone wrong.
A-side.
A-side gone wrong in every way of the word, using that A-side status to gain unfair advantages over opponents. It's throughout his entire resume, going all the way back to his first world title that he held at what was supposed to be 54 pounds. He put a catch weight on Matthew Hatton to fight at 150. Canelo blew the weight. Hatton came in at 150, and Canelo still won the title, even though it was a catch weight that Canelo had put in.
Yep.
It's from the beginning to the end of his career. That throughout the whole of his career, he's been doing things that are not becoming of a champion, much in the same way as the other two fighters we were talking about earlier.
There, Canelo. What's it? Canelo.
You see Canelo, but you've also got Canelo. It's like there's a list. There's a list.
There's Canelo. There's Canelo. Oh dear. Fighting at short notice is unfair to both Canelo and Bivol. Just recover till December. I think it's less unfair to Canelo than it is Bivol. Bivol's the one who don't know what's going on. Canelo is on the side.
Well, the reason it's particularly unfair for Bivol is he's got to come down an extra 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And Canelo's actually going to go up 2 pounds.
It's definitely more unfair for Bivol. Canelo is in the driving seat. It's unfair for Bivol. He's got a short camp A and B. They want him to drop down. Is Plant better than Bivol? I say no. I see the point you're trying to make. What's going on here?
Can I make a point real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Everyone who's making excuses for Canelo needs to move out of their mom's basement. Real talk. Move out of your mother's basement. Stop making excuses and grow up, be a man, and take some personal responsibility.
Okay, so Ben says the WBC did not include the no. It was WADA. It was it was WADA. Yeah, cool. But that's not fake news though. That actually happened. The threshold was raised. Okay. Let's have a look. Hasn't every A-sider done the same? No way. Saying it's right. So every A-sider.
AJ hasn't done any of this to Usyk, has he?
No, not in the heavyweights. And it's not general practice. That's something that Canelo has done. Don't get me wrong. I do rate Canelo and Canelo. But all this, get out of here, man. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. He ain't in no high seat. He should function same way as other boxers do. All these antics are unacceptable. And don't get it twisted. I do rate Canelo, whichever guy he's being, because he has different modes. He's like a shapeshifter. He's a shapeshifter. So sometimes he's Canelo, that's a straight fight. Sometimes it's Canelo, that means a stipulation. And sometimes there's Canelo. So it's 3 guys rolled into one.
But back to Marianne's point, Muhammad Ali was the biggest A-side in the history of boxing. And he didn't really go in for any of these sort of shenanigans. So no, it hasn't always happened. If you're going to date it, you'd probably have to say it started with Sugar Ray Leonard. to be honest.
I'm not very happy with Sugar Ray about them kind of antics either. Okay, so let's have a look. No one is forcing these guys to agree to Canelo's demands or Canelo's demands. Well, yeah, let him just be Canelo then. Let's forget about Canelo. Let's put Canelo to one side and let's just have some straight fights. How about that? Bivol should pull a Fury COVID trick and get the fight delayed. Well, you know the Canelo team, they're very crafty. They like their contracts. They sold them up. You get stitched up like a kipper. He should give Bivol enough time to make the weight properly. So what the date is talking about? September and December? Are those the options?
Canelo always fights in September because of the Mexican holidays.
Okay.
So that's the reason that's being put forward for a short camp. But
is there a second date? Is there a later date? Is there a December date?
You fight September and May, same as Floyd used to. And it's for those Mexican fight parties and catering to that market. I'm sure Fight Doctor would know more about this than I do.
Well, he needs to. I think there's a December date that they're looking at as well, though. September and a December date. Potential December date is with the zone now, so it looks like he might be changing it up. Don't quote me on that, but I know there's two dates. I know there's two potential dates. The Fight Doctor's gone quiet. Okay, so let's see what people have been saying. I call shenanigans. Why the personal shots? Personal shots? Who's taking personal shots? Me? Did I take personal shots? Maybe you're talking about the Canelo and the Canelo. That's not personal. That's just reality, my friend. That's just reality. We're just talking about the reality. Maybe Plant should be a man and take some personal responsibility. You know, be in charge of his own career. The biggest payday by far. I think you should damn well take
so
it.
Can I chime in on that?
Of course.
There are these things called contracts, and when you sign one, you are beholden to the language therein. So Plant has a contract with the PBC, who effectively act as his promoter, even though Al Heyman is his quote unquote manager, but in practice, PBC is a promoter, and your promoter is who gets you a fight. So you are signed to your promoter gets you a fight. So the PBC is acting on Plant's behalf. So Plant can't go to the PBC and say, I want to fight on XYZ platform. No, it's not how it works. The promoter gets you a fight, and then you fight on the platform that the promoter gets you a fight on, right? Yeah. So all of these people who are making this argument that Plant should take control of his own career, well, he took control of his own career when he signed with the PBC. But funny thing is, you never hear these same people who are making these statements about Plant. You never hear them making the same statements about people like Canelo Alvarez when he fought exclusively on DAZN. Oh, Canelo Alvarez should go fight on the PBC. You never heard that talk. And actually, you don't even hear it now. Right now, you still hear the Canelo fan base talking about how he should fight on DAZN instead of going across the street. And it's funny how all of these rabid fans are not consistent with their logic.
Okay, and you know something? That strict timetable is real tight. So that brings us to the end of the show. It's been great. I'm going to let you guys have your final words on whatever you want to say. Yeah. And first we go with the John Dealey. The final words, sir. First of all, thanks for joining us and making
a
contribution.
It's nice to finish agreeing with the Fight Doctor for a change. Don't completely agree with him, but certainly on the Bivol matter, I actually 100% agree with him. So nice change of pace. good show, and thanks for having me.
And that was the John D. Lee. And then, yeah, much appreciation for jumping on, John, sharing your contributions, thoughts, and observations. And then there was two. The Fight Doctor, your final words, please. But before that, big shout out for Ben Media with the contribution. What country you from? Because that's $1. So I thought you was a UK guy. Seems you're a USA guy. What country you from? Ben Media says good show, much appreciation. Everybody can be like Ben. Just touch that sign by where you're writing now. Okay, much appreciation. And of course, who was the first person? Who was the first donor? Hold on. Fight Doctor. Let me just go into this thing and find out who was the first sponsor of the show. You know, the Raphie's getting a little bit slick with it now. I can find certain things. It was Aaron Daly. Aaron Daly was the first sponsor of the show. And he wrote, have to sponsor the best panel in the YouTube boxing game. Raphie, John, Kong, and the Fight Doctor. So that was Aaron Daly. And then Ben for Media, second sponsor of the show, comes up with good show. Of course, he really meant great show. But we understand. And that's much appreciation. Okay. And the Fight Doctor, your final words, please. Much appreciation for jumping on. Over to you.
Shout out to Mr. Dealey. Shout out to the Iron Kong. Thank you, Raphie, for having me on. I appreciate it. And
Always.
Just want to say that this is not a good look for Canelo Alvarez, you know, who is supposed to be the face of boxing, supposed to be the pound-for-pound best in the world. And I give him credit for the guy has an amazing resume, right?
Yeah.
And he is, in my mind, the legitimate pound-for-pound number one. But I will say that if Terrence Crawford beats Sean Porter in his next fight, I will have to rethink the order in which I have my top two on the pound-for-pound list. And certainly with this whole catchweight business, it's old, it's stupid, it's tired. And it's not becoming of a fighter of Canelo Alvarez's stature, right? I mean, you are supposed to carry the banner of the proud Mexican fighting tradition. And this is how you do it, shamefully, in my mind. And there's no excuse.
Yeah.
There's always extra going on with all of his fights lately. And if you just look at his opposition recently, how they have just not put up any type of resistance. And so it's just like, you know, it just begs the question, what the hell is really going on here? You know, what the hell is really going on?
What the hell?
Yeah, it's, you know, somebody else said it best, that the walls are closing in on Canelo Alvarez, and I believe that they are. The dog and pony show can continue for only so long, and at some point, the bill will come due, and you will be made to pay, and then we'll see what's what. And I'll leave it at that.
And much appreciation. That was the Fight Doctor, and much appreciation to him and everybody who took time out to jump on the panel, everybody who took time out to jump in the chat, everybody who took time out to hit that super chat button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's have a look. BJ getting his eye socket broken, Smith beaten to a pulp and having his bicep nearly explode. Oh my gosh. Marion, Some good observations there. Good observations there. But that's it. We've come to the end of the show. For me, what do I want Canelo to do? Yeah, just give people, the proper notice and, stop coming in with this catch weight business. Just fight people at their damn weights. It makes it hard to judge. Makes it hard to judge when you're fighting people out of their weight classes. As for Anthony Joshua, well, he's done it again. He's shoved the haters' faces in it. And shoved their face in it and rubbed their faces in it. Face of boxing. Faces of boxing. Anthony Joshua, and whatever you want to call him, Canelo, Cacello, whatever you call him. It's Anthony Joshua and the Mexican guy with the red hair. But yeah, Anthony Joshua rubs the haters' faces in it again. And what else is there to say? Had to share the news, had to talk about it, had to look at the various different aspects of it. And it's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it's the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And the only words left for me to say is thank you. It was a great show and blessed.